This conference will now be recorded.
So till yesterday's session, we talked different things about SAP. What is there in SAP FI? What is there in SAP CO? What other skill set? What other things that we have to understand in order to become a consultant? Now, from today onwards, let's talk something about basic accounting. What exactly we have to know from accounting side to learn SAP FICO in a proper way. I'm not going to write the entire accounting basics because I'm going to take a different session probably tomorrow for it. Now I'll give you a basic overview of what exactly we have to know from the accounting perspective. So let me write accounting knowledge. Now most of you from accounting or commerce background, is that right?
Sir,
Right, most of you is from accounting or commerce background or would have worked in commerce, accounting, finance background,
accounts background.
right?
yes,
Okay. Now, there are certain criteria that we have to see, or there is certain criteria that we have to understand or revise before we get into SAP, especially FICO. So, first thing, when I talk about a company, when I'm talking about a company, what exactly I mean when I say a company? What is a company?
Company is a legal entity.
Okay. When we will say a company is a legal entity, what needs to be done to become a legal entity?
it should be registered under Companies Act.
So your company will have to be registered according to the Companies Act of any country that you're operating in. Now in company, what we will do? What do we do in
Business
company?
operations to make some profit.
We will do business in our company to make profit. Is this correct? How do you get profit? How
When we sold some goods or services,
to get profit, what we have to do? We have to do sales. At any way we can get profit without doing sales. Those who are from commerce background, accounting background, can we make profit without doing sales?
sir, we can make profit other than sales.
Without sales, can we make profit?
No, sir.
You cannot make profit if you're not doing any kind of a sales. You must do sales in order to make profit. Now, first thing that has to be there in your mind is there has to be a company in your mind. Okay, do not see this company from SAP point of view. See this company from a business point of view. From a business point of view, take any one company that you are aware of, or you can take any company of your choice. Let's say I want to set up a mobile store. Is this a business? If I want to set up a mobile store, is this a business? Right? If I set up a mobile store, what will I be doing in my mobile store?
Buying and selling.
Sale of mobiles and accessories. Right? I'll be selling mobiles. I will also be selling mobile accessories. Now, if I want to set up a mobile store, what I need to do first? I need to register my business name, my shop name. Is that right? To set up a new mobile store, I have to register my company's name. Let's say I have registered some Hyderabad mobile store. Now, if I register a mobile store, what transactions will I be doing in my mobile store?
Mobiles purchasing and selling.
So let us assume that first month's business transactions. What are the business transactions that will happen in the first month if you set up a mobile shop? To set up a business, what do you need first?
First,
Capital.
we need some capital.
Right? You need some capital. What else is needed?
Fixed assets.
Installation.
Shop.
You need some shop. Okay. What else is needed? Let us consider only the first month. Whatever is possible in the first month, let us list out only those transactions. I need capital, I need a shop. What else?
Salesman.
Furniture.
I need furniture, I need to do sales, I need to do purchases. What else?
Manpower.
I have to pay rent, I have to pay salaries, rent, salaries, and to
Advance
pay
rent.
electricity bill. Advance rent I need to pay. First month you will be giving additional discounts to the customers. Any other transaction apart from this is possible? That's all. Okay, if that's all, we'll stop it here. Now, assuming everything is a cash transaction. So let's assume that all these are cash transactions. Now, to set up this business, let's assume that we need some 10 lakhs. Let's assume we need 10 lakh capital. And when we say shop, what do we mean by shop here? So we don't need shop here. Like you're already paying rent, so rent itself will become your shop. Correct? Huh? So I'm removing the shop here. Furniture. How much value furniture do we need? Let's say 1 lakh furniture I purchase. Before I do sales, I have to purchase. Out of my 10 lakhs capital, I have spent 1 lakh on furniture. What is left with me now?
9 lakhs.
9 lakhs. Let's say I will invest 6 lakhs for purchases. And if you invest 6 lakhs for purchases, assume we have sold all our investment in the first month itself. Whatever the mobile phones you've purchased, let's assume everything is sold so that there is no closing stock. So 6 lakh worth mobiles, assuming we sold for 7 lakh 50,000. Rent, let's assume we are paying 20,000 as rent. Salaries, I'll say 10,000 as salaries, 1,000 as electricity. Advance rent, if I'm paying rent as 20,000, let's say I paid 3 months rent, 60,000 as advance. Discounts, I would have given around 8,000. Let's say these are my first month business transactions in my mobile store. Now, after completing the first month of my business, I will be interested in knowing whether I am making profit or loss from my business.
Yes, sir.
Correct? I want to know whether I am making profit or loss. Now, in order to prepare profit or loss, we have to prepare basic accounting. Straight away, it is not possible for us to find out profit or loss without recording the business transactions, which means all these transactions you have to record in your accounting. Only then your profit and loss statement is possible. Now, for each and everything, you will have to know the journal entry. The reason why we have to know journal entry, tomorrow in SAP, if you want to practice anything on FICO, you have to record a journal entry from your side. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Can you test anything on your FICO without posting a journal entry? Is that possible?
No, sir.
Not possible.
It is not possible for you to test SAP FICO for practice SAP FICO without posting journal entries. Now, we are assuming everything is a cash transaction. According to cash transaction, what will be this? So I'll put
Cash to capital.
debit
Cash
here.
account data to capital account.
I'll put, sorry, not customer, credit here. If my first transaction is capital, which account is to be debited, which account is to be credited?
Cash account is debited, capital account is credited.
So here I'll put cash debit, capital credit. I'm not giving the amount because for cash it will be 10 lakhs. For capital also it is 10 lakh. Debit means positive number, credit means negative number. For furniture,
Furniture
Furniture is
debit
debited, cash is credited.
credited.
furniture is debit, cash is credit. Okay. Sales,
Cash account
Cash
is
debit.
debited, sales account is credited.
cash debit, sales credit. For purchases,
Purchase debit. Cash credit.
Purchase debit, cash account credit.
purchase debit, cash credit. For rent,
Rent debit. Cash credit.
rent debit, cash credit. For
Salary.
salaries,
Salary is debit,
Salary.
cash credit.
salaries debit, cash credit. For electricity,
Electricity debit, cash credit.
electricity debit, cash credit. Advance rent,
Advance
Advance
rent
rent
debit,
credit.
cash credit.
advance rent debit, cash credit. Correct. Discount given,
Discount given debit, cash account credit.
discount given debit, cash account credit. These are our accounting entries. On what basis we will record all these accounting entries, I will explain you in the next session. But now we are not getting into the detailed why we are debiting this account, why we are crediting this account. Now, are we sure that all these accounting entries are correct?
Yes, sir.
Right? So these are the accounting entries that are to be recorded. Now, once your accounting entries are recorded, next thing what we have to do, we have to prepare ledger accounts. We are not preparing ledger accounts. Straight away, we will prepare trial balance. What we have to prepare? Trial balance. In trial balance, what will be there again? You have account,
Debit, credit.
debit balance, credit balance. Now, when you write accounts, what you have to do, you take all the accounts from here, put here, all the accounts from your journal entries, you put here. Now, account, when we write here, what do we mean by account here? Which account are we talking about? Account as master account, master data. Every account that we are talking about here, is that a master record, master account?
Yes, sir.
Right, these are all master records. Are we supposed to duplicate master data or no duplicates in master data?
No duplicate, sir.
Your master data is not supposed to be duplicated. So against one master record, you can create multiple transactions, but for every transaction, you should not create a master record. If you see cash is appearing so many times, right? So you're not supposed to keep so many cash accounts. You will keep only one cash account. In one cash account, you can do multiple transactions. From this list, what I need to do, I have to remove duplicates. From here, I will remove duplicates. Okay, how many accounts are remaining? How many account numbers are here? What is the count?
10.
10.
Now we've got 10 accounts remaining. Now, how do you write this cash balance? Cash balance is on the debit side or on the credit side. Now, when you write any account balance in trial balance, which balance are we supposed to write? Opening balance or closing balance? In your trial balance, which balance will be reflected? Is it your opening balance or your closing balance?
Opening, sir.
Closing balance.
Closing,
In your
sir.
trial balance, it is closing balance that we
Closing
have to
balance.
reflect. Now, cash is there one time or multiple times?
One time only.
Multiple times.
Cash is there multiple times in your transactions. So let us calculate cash closing balance at the end. Now, wherever the accounts that are there only one time, we can straight away put the number here. I'll remove the cash. Next one, furniture. Look at your accounting entries. See where is your furniture. Furniture is here. For this transaction, you have furniture. In this transaction, what we did to the furniture? Did we debit it or we credited it?
Furniture is debited here.
Furniture is debited means if an account is debited in your journal entry, this account will go to debit side in your ledger account. This account will go to debit side in your trial balance. Is that correct?
Sir.
So I'll take this amount in my furniture debit. Next, purchases. What we did to the purchase?
It is debited.
Purchase is debited. I'll take purchase value. I'll put it on the debit side. Rent. Rent is here on the debit side. If you
Debit
look
side
at this
20,000.
transaction, rent is 20,000. I'll put 20,000 here. Next, salaries. Salaries is debited for 10,000. I'll take this 10,000 for salary. Electricity. Electricity is again debited. I'll take 1,000 electricity on the debit side. Next one, advance rent. Advance rent is there on the debit side. I am going to take this 60,000 advance rent on the debit side. Next one, discount given. Discount given is also on the debit side. I'll take this amount on the debit side. Next one, capital. Capital is on which side?
Credit side.
Credit side, 10 lakhs. I am going to take capital on the credit side, 10 lakhs. Next, sales. Where is sales? Sales is again on the credit side, 7 lakh 50,000. Now, which account balance did we miss out?
Cash.
Cash account.
Cash account balance we missed out because cash is appearing on multiple times. Now we have to find out cash closing balance. To find out cash closing balance, what we actually need to do, we have to find out total cash debits and total cash credits. Difference between your cash debit and cash credit is your closing balance. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So first I am going to highlight all the debit balances of cash. I'll put one color for all the debit side cash accounts. Here it is debit. There are only two debits. And now the ones without color are credits. Now I'll put the total of this is how much? 17 lakhs 50,000. Cash debit 17 lakhs 50,000. Now we need cash credit balance. Cash credit balance is not highlighted number. Let me select all these numbers for which cash account is on the credit side. What is the total of this? 7 lakh 99,000.
99,000. Correct.
Lakh 99,000.
So I'm going to put 7 lakhs 99,000 here. Now, any debit balance is a positive number, any credit balance is a negative number. Alright, if I do a sum, this will be your what balance?
Closing.
Cash closing balance 9 lakh 51,000. Did we get positive number or a negative number?
Positive.
Positive number.
Positive number means cash closing balance debit or credit.
Debit balance.
Debit.
Debit balance 9 lakh 51,000. I have to put it on the debit side. Now, what is your trial balance rule? When you do a trial balance, your debit must be equivalent to credit.
Yes, sir.
Now, let me do a total for debit side and let me do a total for credit side. Are these two matching?
Yes, sir.
Now, is our trial balance correct? If your trial balance is
Yes, sir.
becoming zero, your accounting entries are posted correctly. Now, after trial balance, what next we have to prepare?
Profit and loss.
P&L statement. P&L we have to prepare. Now, for preparing P&L, what do we need? I again put account, debit. I'll put account, credit. From this, we have to identify P&L accounts and balance sheet accounts. What are P&L accounts from this? Is cash P&L or balance sheet?
Balance sheet.
Balance
Furniture,
sheet.
Balance sheet.
Balance sheet.
Balance sheet.
Balance sheet.
purchases,
P&L
P&L.
account.
P&L.
rent,
P&L.
P&L account.
salaries,
P&L.
P&L.
electricity,
P&L.
P&L.
advance rent,
P&L.
Balance sheet.
advance rent.
Uh,
Advance rent is
Balance
balance
sheet.
sheet account.
Balance
balance sheet.
sheet.
Yes, yes, yes.
Discount given,
P&L.
P&L.
capital,
Balance sheet.
Balance sheet.
Balance sheet.
sales,
Balance sheet.
P&L.
P&L.
Sorry.
P&L.
Sales is a
P&L.
P&L. Now, whatever is highlighted is a P&L account. Whatever is not highlighted is a balance sheet account. Now, from the P&L, again you have to classify as expenses, incomes. Now, first one is your purchase. What is your purchase? Is this an expense or an income?
Expenses.
Expenses.
Expenditure.
So, purchases, I'll put it on the expense side. What is the value of purchase on your trial balance? 6 lakh. I'll take this as 6 lakhs on the debit side. Next P&L account we identified is rent. I'll take this rent. Rent is what? Expense or income?
Expense, sir.
Expenses.
So expense is on the debit side. Value of rent is 20,000. After rent, salaries 10,000 salaries. Next expense, electricity. Electricity is 1,000. Next expense is discount given 8,000. This one sales, expense or income?
Income.
7,50,000 income. Now, after recording all the transactions in your P&L, debit and credit, what next? What we have to find out?
You
Net
have to
profit.
calculate
We have to
profit.
find out we are in a profit or loss.
We have to find out whether you are getting profit or loss. In order to find out profit or loss, you have to close both the account balances. You have to check the debit, you have to check the credit. Your P&L debit is an expense, your P&L credit is an income. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So your P&L debit is expense. Your P&L credit is
Income.
income. Now, is your expense more or income more?
Income more, sir.
Income.
We are
Income.
in profit.
Income is
Income
more.
is more. Our expenses are 6,39,000, whereas our income is 7,50,000. So if your income is more, you will have to get profit. If your expenses are more, you will have to get loss. Now the difference between debit balance and credit balance is either profit or loss. If I do the total of this, okay, if I do the total of this debit minus credit, what value I got?
1 lakh,
Debit
1
minus
lakh
credit,
11,000.
1,11,000. Is this a positive number or a negative number?
Negative, sir.
Negative number.
Any negative result from P&L is profit. You have to remember this point, because your profit always shows a negative number or a credit balance. If you recollect your nominal account, you will be debiting all expenses and losses, and you will be crediting all incomes and gains. Is that correct? Profit
Yes, sir.
is a gain. Profit is a gain. So you are telling, according to the accounting rule, credit, incomes and gains. Credit means a negative number. So whenever you are in profit, your P&L shows a negative number. Do not get confused when you look at any P&L statement in any of the project, in any of your real environment, you will see a negative number. So most of them will get confused, assuming the P&L statement result as loss, assuming it is negative. Now I'll put the profit here. 1 lakh, sorry, profit will come on the debit side or on the credit side?
Debit side.
It will come on the debit side, because this is the missing figure, 1,11,000. Once you put this, both the account balances should become equal. Now this is your profit. Correct? This is the profit we have made. Any doubt in this?
No, sir.
Now, once your P&L is prepared, next thing is to prepare what? Balance sheet. In balance sheet, what you will have?
Liabilities and
Liabilities
assets.
and assets.
Liabilities and amount, assets and amount. Now, what are the liabilities from this? From this list, what are your liabilities?
Capital.
Capital.
Capital is a liability for 10 lakhs. I'm going to write capital 10 lakhs. Now, one point that you have to remember here is the cap number correct? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. All right. Whenever you are preparing balance sheet, there is no concept called debit and credit. Wherever you are writing debit and credit, it is fine even if you put positive number, if you do not put positive negative number. But whenever you are preparing balance sheet, in your balance sheet, there is nothing called debit credit. Okay, you have to write a positive number or a negative number. What is your capital? Is this a positive value or a negative value?
Negative
If it is
value.
liability, capital is a negative value. You should not make this mistake whenever you are preparing balance sheet. Do not be under impression of debit and credit. You will end up writing everything correctly because you are not maintaining this sign. Your balance sheet may not tally. Capital we have given. Any other assets?
Furniture, advance
Advance
rent.
rent, sir.
Cash is there. Furniture is also there. I'll put cash, furniture. Furniture is 1 lakh. Cash value we have calculated somewhere down. Cash is 9,50,000. Furniture is 1 lakh. This is your $9,51,000. This is your 1 lakh. Any other assets? Cash, furniture,
Advance rent.
advance rent, and capital. Advance rent is 60,000. Advance rent 60,000. Capital we have already taken. Any other things are we missing from this trial balance?
No,
1, 2, 3, 4 transactions. 1, 2, 3, 4 transactions. Let's do a total for this. Let's do a total for this. Is this matching or anything is missing?
We have to add profit to capital.
Right? We have to add capit to the
profit.
capital. Now, if you see profit, we have written one statement here. What is that? Any negative result from P&L is profit. If your P&L gives a profit, what is this figure? Is this a positive number or a negative number?
Negative, sir.
Negative
Negative
number.
number.
You'll have to put negative number. 111, 000. If it is a loss, you have to put positive number. So that system automatically adjusts your capital value. You're not supposed to manually put capital plus capital minus as we did in our accounting. Because you have to put every number including this sign, proper sign, positive or a negative. After adding profit, is my balance sheet tallying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What we did, we have taken some simple basic example of one mobile shop. We assumed that to do this mobile shop for the first month, these are the possible transactions according to our understanding. We took some random numbers of our choice. We prepared journal entries. We prepared a trial balance. We prepared P&L. we prepared balance sheet. Now, if I take these transactions, and if I give to anybody, and I will ask anyone to prepare financial statements, find out what is my profit loss figure, what is my balance sheet figure. Will everybody get the same result, or result differs from person to person?
No, sir.
Same
Everybody
way.
gets same.
Agree? Everybody will have to get the same number. If anybody says
Yes, sir.
you're not getting 1,11,000 profit, their accounting is wrong. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
If anybody says profit is not 1,11,000, their accounting is wrong. If anybody tallies balance sheet for other than this amount, their balance sheet is wrong. Now this is basic fundamental of accounting, simple version. Now, what we have to do with this? Why we have written this now? What is the name of the mobile shop we assumed? Hyderabad Mobile Store. I have assumed this as my Hyderabad Mobile Store, and I am the owner of Hyderabad Mobile Store. I did these transactions in my first month. Now assume I want to do all my accounting in an application, in a software. If I go to Tally, if I record these transactions in Tally, am I supposed to get same profit or a different profit?
Same profit, sir.
Same profit.
If I generate balance sheet from Tally, should I get the same value or different value?
Same, sir.
Same. What if I want to do my this thing in my SAP? Should I get same profit?
Yes, sir.
Same
Definitely.
profit.
Should I get same balance sheet?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How many transactions we have? 9 transactions. Correct? Huh?
Yes, sir.
You've got 9 transactions. We know company name, number of transactions. How many? 9.
9.
Those who completed your training, those who have already practiced SAP till GL module only. When I say till GL module only, I mean posting debit and credit entry using F-02 or FB50 or FB01. Who did all these transactions? Anybody posted this practice alone in SAP so far?
Yes, sir.
Almost everybody did this exercise? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Everybody knows how to post a GL document in either F-02, FB01 or FB50. Posting ki 40 debit, posting ki 50 credit. Can you create a company code, bring the TB, show P&L profit, show balance sheet values? Can you create a company code and bring this trial balance, show this profit, show this asset liabilities from your company code? How many of you are confident? Company
Yes,
code,
sir.
I told what you have to take. Transactions are in front of you. You just need to configure GL module alone. Don't need to configure AP, AR, assets, tax. Nothing is needed. Only the creation of a company code, the other baseline config for it, and then record these transactions. Make sure you are able to see profit of 1,11,000 from SAP. You are able to see balance sheet figures, this and this. You can see these two from the trial balance. If you know how to see trial balance on SAP, from the trial balance itself, you can restrict GL account numbers of P&L range. You will straight away get this number as profit. Negative number will reflect. If you pull out the value of only asset account number ranges, straight away you will get this number. If you pull out the value of only liability account number series, you will get value of all the liabilities with a mismatch of profit. The profit value will be missing because this is not a manual figure, this is a automated generated number. Am I correct? Whenever I record any expense, any income, this is keep on updating.
Yes, sir.
Right? If I pass one more entry expense, this will get updated. If I pass one more income, this will get updated. So in your trial balance, this may not be, this is accurate, but on your balance sheet, this is not accurate. This may not reflect because there is no posting in this account. So if you properly design your financial statement version, this will reflect. If you are seeing from the trial balance, this will be the missing figure. Now, when you do your SAP practice, this is supposed to be your first transaction posting exercise for your company code. Now, when you have everything in front of you, when you configure, can you configure left and right?
No, sir.
Now, I am telling these are all how many months transactions?
First
1
month.
month.
First month. So first month means it may be any month, right? If I say March 2023, in which month you have to post all these entries?
March only.
March 2023. So which period you have to keep open? One period or
March
12
only.
periods?
No, sir. One only.
You have to keep only one period open. You have to create only these GL accounts, right? Everything that is appearing on your Excel sheet, you have to bring into SAP, which means you cannot do left and right as you want. You have to look at what is there on the Excel sheet. This is your requirement. Look at this requirement, understand this requirement, decide what is your company code. Okay, I got to know this is my company code. I got to know, where is it? This is my company code. Decide a code of your choice and then do all the other baseline configurations only to make these GL postings. What parameters you will consider for other settings is your choice. Which fiscal year variant, which posting period variant, document splitting you activate or deactivate. The whole idea, the intention is only to bring these figures from SAP without adding any controls to it. Whether your document splitting is active, you create profit center, cost center is immaterial, not needed. First thing is to understand whether we are able to bring accounting into SAP. If you are able to bring these numbers into SAP, you have learned half of SAP FICO. Everywhere it is the same thing. You go join any organization, go talk to any person who is working on accounting, they will talk to you in this way. And if this is my current financials of current month and I want to do this in SAP, same thing I have to see it from SAP, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now SAP is not ready to use application. You have to configure the SAP according to your requirement. Now my requirement is only to record like this. I don't have any requirement to manage my fixed assets, nothing. I want assuming everything only GL module. You have to configure only GL module. Don't touch AP, don't touch AR, don't touch taxation, nothing. Easiest, simplest, first way of your practice is supposed to be this. In your SAP FICO, first company code is supposed to be this. If you are able to bring this, make sure you are more than 50% good with SAP FICO. You will easily understand whatever is there on FICO. You talk to any business user, you talk to any client, you will be able to confidently communicate. You will be able to understand clearly their requirements. If you are not clear with this, it is very difficult. Because end of the day, you have to bring this into system. That is what is your job. Am I correct? Is my statement correct?
Yes, sir.
Whatever is reflecting on your Excel sheet has to be reflected on the SAP, for which what you are going to do is your task. As a business, as a client, all I want is to see these figures from SAP. I know these are my transactions. I know this is my profit. I know this is my asset value. This is my liability value. When you do it on SAP, I may not know SAP, but do I know my financial figures, my financial numbers?
Yes, sir.
I am not going to verify, I am not going to judge your skill set based on your configuration, based on your understanding, based on any other aspect. I am only going to judge your skill set if your configured company code will give me the correct result. If correct results are coming, I will be okay with what you have done. If not, no matter what, I will tell what you did is wrong. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
From your company code, for the same transactions, if profit figure is not coming correct, or if you are not able to show where is profit, how to see the profit, your client is not convinced, he is not happy. First of all, are you convinced, are you happy if you are not able to bring these figures from SAP?
No, sir.
So when you are posting a transaction, you are not supposed to post left and right. You are strictly supposed to record only these 9 transactions, only in the month of March 23, only for this debit, this credit, with this number strictly. Because you have a requirement what to achieve from the system, and that is how you will be working when you are in a project. For everything, you will have a task, you will have the desired result. Any doubt on this?
Sir, if profit is not coming continuously, so how will we bring balance sheet?
In SAP, your P&L and your balance sheet is automated. All you need to do is post these entries. Your trial balance is system generated, you don't have to prepare in SAP. P&L is system generated, you don't have to prepare P&L in SAP. Balance sheet is system generated, which means if you record debit and credit, everything will come with one click in SAP. We have written all this manually because we don't have any system currently. Now tomorrow if you have SAP system, you're not going to prepare P&L manually, you're not going to prepare balance sheet manually. You will have a screen to see the P&L, you will have a screen to see the balance sheet. Go to the screen, input the parameters, click on execute. It will give you the same P&L, same figure. But how you want to see your P&L? In the similar way, you have to design your P&L in SAP. Which format you want, what heading you want, what subheading you want. Everybody would have seen P&L format, balance sheet format, at least when we did basic accounting in our education time,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
right? So you will not left and right put everything, right? You will put opening balance plus purchases, sales, minus operating expenses, indirect expense, something like that. There will be headings,
Yes, sir.
right? These are all called as your schedules or schedules. So you will receive the P&L schedules, balance sheet schedules from your client. Accordingly, you have to map your P&L. Everything has to be systematic. Now here what we did, we just like that put everything for testing purpose. But when you see it from an organization point of view, it is properly structured. There will be a heading. You will have purchases, a heading under that, different purchase GL accounts. Similarly, direct expenses, indirect expenses, operating expenses, bank charges, depreciation, so on. Now all this is created when you are defining your chart of account. When you define chart of account, you are going to define account groups in OBD4.
Yes, sir.
right? First time in the initial stage when you're learning, when you're trying to understand SAP, you are creating 4 account groups. Agreed. Initially, you will create 4 account groups. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Asset, liability, income,
Income
expense. This is
expense.
what everybody will create in the beginning. This is correct only in the beginning. Later on, for all your company codes, if you are having only 4 account groups, then what you are doing is wrong. You will have 50 plus account groups in any client. How many you will have account groups? You will have 50 plus account groups. If your account groups are only 4, it is difficult for us to design P&L balance sheet. Now these account groups are provided by your client. These are called as your schedules. All the headings that they want is an account group. If you have created your account groups properly, in short, if your chart of account setting is created properly, your balance sheet can be extracted very easily. If your chart of account setting is not created properly, it is difficult, it is complex to prepare P&L and balance sheet from SAP, because account numbers are not uniform, there is no logic. Correct? So when you are defining your chart of account, you must know the requirement until the balance sheet. Only then you will understand how many account groups to be created, how you are going to create it, which naming convention you will take, what numbering series you will take. Now everybody is aware that your configuration in any project is done based on the blueprint,
Yes, sir.
right? Which means in your business blueprint, the overall business process is covered. Right from the name of the company until the balance sheet of the company, everything is covered in it. After knowing the everything about your company, you are going to start your configuration, because everything is interconnected, everything is interlinked. If one setting is wrong, the other settings later on you are going to do will be wrong, which means you cannot see the exact requirement what happens in a real environment while you are practicing if your initial settings are wrong. And you cannot repair that company code. You have to leave that company code, create one more company code to understand that particular topic properly, to see the result exactly the way it works in a real environment. If your basic config is wrong, everything is wrong, no matter what. Only your configuration is correct. Okay, but the intention is not to do the configuration. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Intention is not to do the configuration. Intention is to meet the business requirement. So your configuration will work according to the requirement only when you know the requirement, only when you understand the requirement. And this is how you will get requirement. Let's say you're talking about any business process, your client will explain their business process, they will give you financial impact. When I say they will give financial impact, they will give you sample transactions. This is how we do transactions. This is how we are accounting. We are debiting this account, we are crediting this account. With these transactions, we want to generate these kind of reports. These reports are used for this purpose. If you understand all these requirements, accordingly you have to decide what is to be done on SAP. If you post a transaction, debit, credit, X amount, Y amount, not sufficient. Tomorrow I want to analyze this for different purpose. How will I get this data? I want only this information. How do I get? We cannot say that you did not tell me this before. This is a new requirement. Our understanding is wrong, because anything that is posted in accounting is subject to reporting and reconciliation. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Anything that you post in accounting is supposed to be shown in the reports, is supposed to be reconciled. No scope that you will escape. You will get caught. That this entry is posted, but why is this appearing here? It is supposed to be reflected in the other account. Or this is supposed to be shown separately in my balance sheet. Why is this part of this account group? You cannot say we don't have that account group, so we adjusted in this account group, please manage. Nobody will accept. First of all, that scenario itself is invalid. That is an impossible scenario in any project. So when you are creating a new company code, let us not do these kind of mistakes. Let us create the company code, let us create the transactions, account groups, everything exactly the way they are created in any project. If you're not sure how account groups are to be created, how chart of account is to be created, check with your friends who are working on SAP FICO, ask them to give the list of account groups that their client is using. Get an idea. No need of all that. If you apply your mind on the basic accounting, you will design everything on your own. And this is supposed to be your first activity, your first practice in SAP. When you are posting a document, first time, if you are not sure, if you are learning for the first time, you can create one company code or two company codes in any way you want to get adjusted to the system screens, and you can post only few transactions, one or two transactions, not more than that. After that, leave those two company codes, don't touch them again. Create one more company code according to this requirement, create these accounts, post these transactions, look at these entries. Your initial two company codes which you have created left and right to get adjusted, to get comfortable with the system, are only for giving you comfort. That's it. After that, you're not going to use those company codes. Those are not actually configured company codes. Those are testing company codes. Leave them. Create another company code. Make sure whatever these settings that you are doing are exactly the same the way they work in a real environment. So it has to be the way you take a screenshot of your document that you are posting in your practice, take a picture of it, send that picture to somebody who is working on SAP FICO in your network, ask them to check if this document is correct. Is this how your client is posting the entries? GL, AP, AR, any module. Base write in specific only one period is open, exchange rate is updated, multiple currencies are updated, multiple ledgers are updated, document numbers are generated with 10-digit number. Okay, even when you create any document number, strictly you have to create 10-digit document number. Don't create 1 to 100 or 100 to 200, 3-digit, 4-digit, 5-digit document number. Never create when you're practicing in any of your company code. Tomorrow, if you join any company, no company will have less than 10-digit document number. Every company will have 10-digit document number strictly. So even when you practice, create with 10-digit. Don't think that 10-digit is very long to remember. Tomorrow, that is how you have to work. If your mind is tuned with 8-digit document number, 5-digit, 3-digit, 2-digit, don't do it. The problem is we will do it knowing that there will be 10-digit, but now I will create 3-digit, but in real time there are 10-digit. Don't put two conditions in your mind. Put only one that is actually the way it is there in a real environment. Clear? Any doubts so far on this?
No, sir.
Right. So for your initial practice, what I want everybody to do, if you are interested, take any company name like this. You can take any company of your choice. Try to write the first month transactions only. Don't write left and right. Don't dump all the transactions here. Take only first month transaction, which means if I write rent, I cannot write rent 2-3 times. Correct? Because I'll not
Yes,
pay
sir.
rent 2-3 times. I'll pay only one time. My rent is supposed to reflect only one time. Salaries, electricity. So when you write like this, you will understand, and you will understand how many account names you are remembering. And in any project, in any real environment, you will have more than 1000 GL accounts. How many GL accounts?
More than 1,000.
More than 1000 GL accounts. Check yourself whether we are able to write at least 100 GL accounts, 10% of what is used in a real environment. Can we list out 100 GL accounts without duplicates? Difficult. Agree? We will start thinking, you will start write cash, bank, capital, rent, salaries and all. After 10, 15, 20, you will be stuck. You will not move forward. See, at least you are able to understand 100 GL accounts. These 100 GL accounts classify. Know at least 25 asset names, 25 liability names, 25 income names, 25 expense names. And try to put transactions like this. Your choice. Any transaction that you want to put it here. Any amount of your choice. There is no rule that you have to take only 10 lakhs. You can take 5 lakh also. You can take any number. Whatever the number you take, your accounting will come out properly. Put these numbers. After that, write the accounting entries. You don't have to take scale, pencil. Nothing is needed. Simply put as a rough draft. Prepare trial balance. Make P&L. Make balance sheet. Check if your balance sheet is tallying. If it is tallying, whatever you have done is correct. Then open SAP. Take your company code if you have anything. Post transactions backdated, not future dated. Let's say now everybody, whoever is already practicing, must be having at least one company code which is already configured.
Yes, sir.
Let's say in my company code, I'm practicing from 2022. So 2022 I have data, 2023 I have data. Now if I post these entries again in 2022 or 23, the way that I showed now, your data will get accumulated. Like you may be having some entries in cash, again you are posting something in cash. So to avoid this, you take data in previous years, not future years. You know something called balance carry forward? You know something called balance carry forward in accounting?
Yes, sir.
If I have already entries in my accounts in 22 or 23, if I try to do a fresh entry, when I run the report, my entry alone will not come. My entry comes along with the previous balances. So to avoid that confusion, if you are clear, you can do it. But those who get confused, post entries in 2021. If you are assuming to post entries on March 2023, replace 2023 with the year of previous, maybe 22 or 21, 20, any year you can take. In that year you post, so that in that year only your transactions will be there. When you pull any report, make sure you give the date. Check if you are able to get the same figure from SAP. If you are able to get, well and good. The way you are understanding, the way you are creating the things are correct. If not, you will understand where you are going wrong, where you have to rectify. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Take something like this. This is what is going to start your actual learning. Alright, so in the evening, we will start discussing about some accounting basics. What are the accounting rules? How entries are prepared? What is debit? What is credit? how journal entries are prepared, what kind of reports we will make, what things to be remembered while preparing these financial statements. All these points let us discuss today evening at 9 p.m. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right, let me stop this.